Hey, Fragrance Family, I'm Daver.
And I'm E.
And we're the Fragrance Bros. Coming at you again with another review, this time with special guest E from Simply Put Scents. How are you doing, E?
I'm great, bro. How are you?
Doing great. Great to have you on. You have a really great channel. You're one of the newer reviewers in the last year or two, and really glad to have you on.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure, my friend. I've always looked at your videos, dude, and honestly, with you and Jaron, I was always like, wow, that's just a really dope setup, you know, so it's an honor to be here.
Yeah, well, thank you. I appreciate it. And today
Miss you, Jer.
That's right. And today we're reviewing Eau Sauvage Parfum by Dior. All right, so let's get straight to it. Date introduced is 2011. It's classified as a citrus aromatic. Notes are, and it's really short, lime, myrrh, and vetiver. Now, E, what do you get out of longevity out of this?
I mean, I've been dying to do this on the Fragrance Bros. Beast mode!
Really?
Yes. Yes. I mean, 12 hours.
Wow.
12 hours, strong fragrance on my skin. I mean, consistently between 10 and 12 hours.
I didn't get quite that much, but mine was still in an excellent range. I would say it was...
See, that shocks me.
Yeah.
Because you have that whole skin, you know.
That's right.
I'm shocked by that.
It wasn't much less. I would say it kind of peters out on me around 10 hours. Okay. So that's still really good. What about projection?
Very strong. Beast mode. I mean, I could smell this on me for hours. I would say about a good 3 to 4 hours, of probably longer than that. A very solid projection on my skin. I definitely have to be careful with the spray because I could choke every room out when I walk into it. Yeah.
It's pretty strong. I would say on me it was in an excellent range. Not quite beastly, but it was still really pretty strong. Season, this is a really weird one because the notes in here kind of go everywhere for me with seasonality. So I think this really works great in kind of the cooler months, but not the cold or the hot months. So I think this is really good for like a spring or fall night. And I think that's about it.
I would say it's a little more versatile for me, for sure. I could see this being worn all year, to be honest, especially on cooler summer nights. I think it's extremely versatile in that way.
Purpose to me, I think this is really mostly formal. I think maybe on a date, but to me this is really only kind of a formal type scent. So night out kind of thing.
I could definitely concur. That's where I pretty much wear it. I switch it up. This is something I would wear casually to, you know, an evening out with the friends or a party, a club. Even though it kind of veers in that mature range, but.
All right, so E, what does this remind you of?
This reminds me of a man who has his stuff together, who pretty much knows where he is in life and just goes for it. It's a boss scent to me. It just reminds me of a boss. It does. It just has that boss vibe to it. It just is no nonsense in my opinion. I think this is one of Dior's like better releases for the designer, you know, lines that they've been doing over the last few years. I could definitely see why it's been introduced because it's a much more, I would say, modern, contemporary version to Eau Sauvage that you can wear at night. But they didn't really, I don't really think that they sacrificed quality, which a lot of companies usually do when they try to reach for a more younger demographic. I think this bottle or this scent could have been in an exclusive line bottle, and I don't think people would have batted an eye, you know?
Yeah.
As far as the quality and the scent goes, it gave me a lot of hope, especially after smelling Sauvage.
Yeah.
Yes, Dior is not falling off that bad. They're definitely doing it. When they want to, they can't hit you, you know?
Yeah.
That's how I look at it.
This is really funny. I definitely get the more mature type thing, and I totally get what you're saying about the guy who is put together. Right now I'm watching on Netflix, I'm watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and one of the bad guys in there is the head of Hydra. And he's this older guy, and he's really wealthy. And, you know, he has like this huge house, and he sits there by the fireplace drinking a scotch. And that's what this reminds me of. It has kind of like a rich quality to it that I think is really nice. And as far as like the actual scent, there are only 3 notes, and I only get those 3 notes. They're so clear. It's not like some fragrances where the blend it kind of makes it a different type of smell.
Right,
this is one of those fragrances where all 3 notes are very distinguishable. One of my problems with this scent is, I love the myrrh. I think the myrrh really makes this scent. I love myrrh in general, and that to me is the most overwhelming of the notes. And I think that's fine. That's really nice. The lime is fine at the start, but that disappears after not long. Yeah. So you're left with, after about 10 minutes or so, you're left with 2 notes at that point. So it's like, I really wish they put the 3rd note, something that was like a mid or maybe even another bass note, to kind of add a little bit more depth to that. My other problem with this is that the vetiver in here is really earthy. And if you like really rooty vetivers, then I don't think that'll be a problem for you. That's not my cup of tea. It's not winning me here.
That's where I think that private label moniker can come into play, because it's not the most, I would say, mainstream styled fragrance. It doesn't come across as easy to like, automatically. It's a fragrance that some people definitely love, but there's also some people who might smell this and think, I don't think so.
Yeah. So the original Eau Sauvage was a real game changer back in the 60s. That really changed the paradigm of fragrances at the time. And it used ingredients like, I think it was hedione, which was a molecule that wasn't used before a lot. And it really made something very unique. Now that is really dated now. And if you smell it now, it smells kind of like an old man. There are several flankers of Eau Sauvage out there. Obviously, this is one of the newer ones. And I definitely think that it is modern, but it still retains like that mature vibe that I think the original one kind of had already. I think one of the interesting things about this scent is that because it's so simple, it reminds me in some ways of the direction that they took with Sauvage. That's another fragrance that was really simple, and they released it. And some people called that phoned in. And this, I think, has kind of the same type of direction, but toward a completely different age group. So, to me, it seems like Sauvage was, targeted towards younger people, and then this was targeted towards their dads. But it seemed like it took the same amount of time to create it. The thing is, though, is that I really love Sauvage, and I'm not a huge fan of this. But I think it's because I really like the ingredients of Sauvage. And in this, I don't love the vetiver. I do like the myrrh, but the lime doesn't make any sense. I think it just all comes down to, again, do you think it smells good? And
pretty much.
And in that case, I think this smells okay. It's a very good green resinous scent with some spice behind it. And to me, it's on the very masculine side. And I do actually like that aspect of it.
That's another thing that I appreciate about it also, because there are very few, I would say, modern masculine fragrances that are being released these days. It seems like everything is on the metrosexual vibe, which is okay. I mean, I appreciate scents like that all day, but it's really nice to, catch a scent sometimes that doesn't always go in that direction. And I definitely don't think this does, for sure.
So, E, what about compliments? Do you get many compliments when you wear this?
Yeah, I mean, for instance, like my girlfriend says it's sexy. I would say that a few people have, I wouldn't say a lot of compliments, but I've gotten a couple of, wow, that's really nice, type of responses. It stays on the skin for a while, so it's noticeable, which is a great thing if you like, being noticed for your scent. It will definitely be noticed when you're entering the room, so I definitely can imagine it getting a lot of attention from people depending on who the person is. So I would say it's a good compliment getting scent.
Okay.
Especially for a mature fragrance.
I didn't get many compliments when I was wearing this, but I asked my wife what she thought, and she liked it okay. And she said it was edible. She didn't mean that in a sexy way. She just kind of meant like an actual food way. I don't exactly know what she thought it smelled like as far as food, but that was an interesting comment. Now, bang for buck, you can get this for about $78 on the gray market for 100 mil. I think that's a really good deal for what you're getting, especially if you like it. And I think, like you said, E, the quality definitely there. I mean, definitely there. And for the price, I think that's a steal, especially for something that lasts forever on people's skins. I think it's a really good deal overall.
For sure, I couldn't agree more. Like, that's the when you know you can buy a 3.4 that's going to last a long time. I mean, especially by today's standards, where we're all pretty much like we have to adjust all these fleeting fragrances. It's great to have a scent like this that blasts. So yeah, I think the value of this scent really, really works out great for your favorite. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially for a Dior scent. I swear, I think this could be private blend quality material without question, in my opinion. So, you know, for $70-something, you could have added a couple of $100 extra to that, and I don't think people would have batted an eye.
So, final rating, what do you give this?
I would say that this is, in my opinion, a 4.5.
Okay.
Out of 5. I don't think it's perfect, but for what it is and for when it is, I would say that it's definitely warrants a 4.5 in my book. Compared to other fragrances within this genre, it does a great job. It stands up next to other great fragrances. So I would say for sure 4.5. I'm
gonna say a 3 out of 5. I do like this fragrance. I don't love it. It's not something I would really reach for a lot, but it does have a time and occasion for it. And you know, like you said, the quality is definitely there. It definitely smells rich, and it smells high quality, and it lasts a long time. I mean, there's a lot to like here, and I think you really just have to like the 3 notes here in order to really fall in love with it. So for me, a 3 out of 5. Alright, so that's all we have. Let us know if you've tried Eau Sauvage Parfum down in the comments down below. Do you like it, love it, hate it? Let us know. And of course, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe down below. We'll love you for it. And I'll have a link down below to Simply Put Scents, where you can go and check out E and his channel and subscribe to him. Thank you again, E. Really appreciate having you on.
It's a pleasure, brother.
We'll see you next time. We're the Fragrance Brothers. Bye.